Well, welcome back to the Life Mastery class that we've put together. And today I'm with my good friend Sherra, who's a life coach and wears many, many other hats. And well, first of all, Sherra, welcome.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.
You bet. And we're here to talk about life balance, time-life balance, work-life balance. This is something that Sherra is a specialist in. So Sherra, talk to us a little bit about how you see that as part of your work and the people you deal with.
I like that you use the word specialist. I'm like,
of course. Because
it's something I juggle, that makes me a specialist. I think so. No, it's good. Work-life balance, important. On two different levels. I think that, you know, the entrepreneurial world can be a real thief of time. You and I have spent a lot of time talking about how important it is to find that balance.
Yes.
Because yes, we can tell our clients and the people around us, oh no, office hours 9 to 5. But in our world, we don't really have office hours. Yes, we may be done seeing clients by 5, but that just then triggers us to get into our brains and start doing our research and looking at what's out there and what we need to develop and bring in next. So I know personally, and where I bring this comes up for me is really defining what's important, what to the core. So I'm talking values. What are my core personal values? And I try to reevaluate because they change. It depends on what part of my journey in my life I'm in, right? But really, what are my top three core values? So compassion, integrity, and love. Those would be, if I have to I just pulled that out right now, like what resonates with me, what would be my top 3 core values? So if those are my values, I need to see those show up in work and life, personally and professionally. And that you have to nurture them on both sides to have that balance. So I could throw in all the compassion, integrity, love into my business, but I better dang well be putting it into my personal life too, if that's my core value.
Right. So then when you're coaching people around this, you mentioned the 3 core values, which you said very eloquently. When you're coaching around that with people, then is it a matter of taking their time template, if you will, or their time management template, and it has to be in alignment with these 3 values? And how does that piece kind of fit together?
So when I meet with a client and it is around, like you said, trying to get that balance because they're feeling really pulled one way or the other, or they're feeling cheated. And a lot of times, honestly, they feel cheated in their personal life. All their energy is just directed to work and they're exhausted by the time they get home. But they have a spouse or a partner or they have their kids and there's still life at home, you know. So what I do is I start with that brainstorm, really, David. What is it that you really want? What do you desire? At home or in your personal life, or maybe it's your work life. You desire more. What is it that you desire? And we just brainstorm and get into all the exciting and the feelings that would bring us. Then you look at those 3 values and say, okay, if you were to live your personal life or your home life with that compassion, what would that look like? And start pulling out, because what I feel would be a representation of true compassion, it's not necessarily what my clients is. So I want to hear from them. And then we're going to start integrating that. Okay, would you be willing to do that this week? To get that. And they're going to tell me yeah, and I'm going to say what day.
So is it
nail it down.
That's a good coach.
Yeah.
So does it surprise you sometimes that people that maybe you had an idea, just getting to know them a little bit of what they might have said, and then something completely different comes out in terms of what they're looking for?
That's coaching. That is what we call dancing in the mystery. Dancing in the mystery. You know, that's coming and meeting with your client and not having any assumptions. And just asking that question. And you know, a lot of times we come feeling one way and we think we're going to work around something. But when we start really tapping into that heart or that gut, that knowing, it's something so different than what we think or we show the world or we want to feel. It's something really to the core.
So I would imagine in a lot of those cases, there's some probably really big ahas.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
for you, but I mean, certainly for the client too. And then do you find that when they get that aha, is it a matter of them, gosh, Sherra, now I need my outline, or how do I apply this to my 3 core values, and some tools for that?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a lot of, that aha comes, and oh my God, I like to just sit with them in that moment. That moment, even it could be silence, it could be tears, it could be, oh my God, they're just like dancing. They're so excited about this little revelation they had. And then it's like, okay, you want to feel that again, don't you? Let's make that happen.
Oh, nice.
And so it's again, goes back to the table of brainstorming, making a plan, very clear, very specific. What's it going to take then to keep that happening or bring that into your life? And, the best coaches are the ones that are holding their clients accountable.
Correct.
Now, we're not chasing them, but we want to know and we care.
Sure.
We
Well,
wanna
and
see
I
it happen.
imagine with different clients, of course, there's going to be different mindsets or different skill sets or what have you. But do you find, is there some, when you've gotten to that point where it almost sounds like there's a vibration, the person's excited about getting a picture on what they want to accomplish, is there sort of a template or something that you find that most people resonate with, maybe more? I know there's exceptions, but we put it down and we put our time blocks here, and then we have our 3 core values at the top, or anything along that line?
I think every template is unique to every client I sit with.
Oh, nice.
And maybe that's one of my gifts as a coach, is not coming in with anything, but other than just being like you and I are in this conversation.
Right.
And I don't have any expectations other than to leave you with more, or leave our listeners with more.
Right.
But just to be in the conversation and just organic and meet the needs of my clients. So there's not really a template.
Got it. Okay. So let's do this. So as we, with the listeners and the people that are part of this Life Mastery, for those at home, if you will, or those that are watching that, what would be, say, 3 or 4 things that you might tell them, well, here are some steps you can take that might get you heading down that journey? Of course, getting a coach is always fantastic, as we're both coaches, so we know. But maybe that might be able to get them a little self-study and do at home, possibly.
I love that. So this is where I'm just going to kind of share really personally what I use too, because I know it works.
Great.
And I think that's something very powerful and something I teach even with groups. But the very first one, David, I would say, is to shut this off. Imagine if we didn't overthink. Imagine where we could go.
Sure.
And so that's what a lot of times will throw us off balance. We start overthinking, and we think so much that we stop doing.
Right.
There's no action because we're thinking, which then takes us sometimes into not good places. So my first step would be to stop and breathe.
Very good.
So give yourself 2 minutes.
Okay.
Literally stop, close your eyes, and just breathe. Now, the trick here is, all of a sudden you're thinking about that stack of papers on your desk, the dishes in the sink. You're not stopping and breathing, you're thinking. So it's bringing yourself back into your breath. Follow your breath. The only thing you should be thinking about is the breath going in and the breath going out, because you can't focus on your breath and think about the dishes in the sink at home at the same time. So it takes practice, but just 2 minutes. Center yourself, ground yourself, whatever you resonate with, of quiet. Shut this off. That'll allow you to feel. When I think the second one, then I would be to be very clear on what your values are. Okay. So when you aren't overthinking, you're feeling. That's a great lead into those core values. What do you feel passionate about? Integrity, compassion, love, whatever it is for you. But what are those core values? And really resonate with those, and just have that as your anchor even.
Interesting.
The third thing, we've talked about it before, and I'm just going to say it goes back to the feelings. It kind of goes with everything, but when we go back and silence ourselves, it brings us to that present moment, and just, what do you need or what do you want now? Or what am I grateful for now? It keeps us from being out here and keeps us present, keeps us grounded, and allows us to really focus on what's most important right now.
And I think you mentioned that earlier conversation we had. What is it? Future casting?
Oh, my sister-in-law shared the word futurescaping.
Futurescaping, yeah, that was neat.
Which, if you're planning a beachy vacation in the sand, futurescaping sounds amazing.
Yeah.
But most of us use futurescaping as a form of, it's fearful.
Right.
It's what shoulda, coulda, woulda.
Got it. So in kind of in recap, if we're sitting quietly, hearing that breath in and out, focusing completely into our mind and letting it just become clear, and then sort of moving towards what do you really want in the life and getting in your life and getting those 3 values, and then by being present, then really kind of just focusing on that. That's really our first few steps, isn't it?
It really is.
It's really good.
It really is to be grounded in something.
Right. That's really fantastic.
Really is going to help you find that balance in life.
That's fantastic. Well, those are some just tremendous steps. And by the way, Sherra is a life coach. And Sherra, what is your website and your information for those that might be interested?
Thank you.
It's
sherragrasser.com, SherraGrasser.com, and you can find me on my web, or you can find me at 425-343-7861.
Perfect. Thank you,
David.
Thank you so much for your time today. Well, there again is another one of our many, many keys. As you know, there's many pieces to this life mastery course we put together. So just tremendous work-life balance and getting centered and that whole thing. And I was thinking, as Sherra was talking about the getting centered, we will talk more about meditation on another one that's very similar to of getting clearing and getting this brain to sit back and think, what do you really want in life? So thank you again. Ms.
Yay,
Grassa.
can't wait. Thank you.
You bet.
Thank you.
You bet. And we'll see you on the next segment. Take care.